Imagine waking up one morning to news headlines screaming, "A black hole is headed toward Earth." Panic spreads. Scientists scramble for answers. Can we escape? Can we survive? Or is this the end of everything we know? It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but black holes are very real. They are among the most mysterious and powerful objects in the universe, regions of space where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape. They have fascinated and terrified scientists for decades, and yet we still don't fully understand them. But let's get to the big question. Could a black hole actually destroy Earth? Is it possible that at this very moment, a rogue black hole is silently drifting through space, on a collision course with our solar system? Or worse, could we accidentally create one in a lab? To truly understand the risks, we need to break down what black holes are, how they form, and what would happen if one ever got too close to our planet. What is a black hole? A black hole is what remains after a massive star collapses in on itself. When a star that is much bigger than our Sun reaches the end of its life, it can explode in a massive supernova, blasting most of its outer layers into space. But the core, the densest part, keeps collapsing, shrinking under the force of its own gravity until it becomes an infinitely small, infinitely dense point called a singularity. Around this singularity is an invisible boundary known as the event horizon, a point beyond which nothing can escape. Not light, not time, nothing. Anything that crosses the event horizon is doomed. The closer you get, the stronger the gravitational pull becomes. If a person were falling toward a black hole, they wouldn't just get sucked in instantly. Instead, they would experience something called spaghettification, where the difference in gravity between their head and feet would be so extreme that they would be stretched into a thin, noodle-like shape before eventually vanishing. Sounds horrifying, right? But let's put that nightmare aside for a moment. The real concern isn't falling into a black hole. It's what happens when one gets too close to a planetary system like ours. Types of black holes. Which one should we fear? Not all black holes are the same. There are three main types. Stellar black holes. These form from dying stars and can be anywhere from 3 to 100 times the mass of our Sun. They are the most common type and can be scattered across the galaxy. Supermassive black holes. These monsters sit at the centers of galaxies and can be millions or even billions of times the mass of the Sun. Our own Milky Way has one called Sagittarius AI, which is about 4 million times the Sun's mass. Intermediate black holes, a mysterious middle category. These are thought to be bigger than stellar black holes, but smaller than supermassive ones, with a mass range of a few hundred to a few thousand suns. Now you might be wondering, if there's a supermassive black hole in the Milky Way, should we be worried? After all, black holes consume everything in their path, right? Not exactly. Sagittarius A is about 26,000 light-years away. That's so far that it has absolutely no effect on Earth. In fact, scientists believe that black holes, despite their terrifying reputation, are not the cosmic vacuum cleaners people imagine them to be. A black hole doesn't go around sucking things up. If our Sun were magically replaced with a black hole of the same mass, Earth would continue orbiting as usual, just without sunlight, of course. So if the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy isn't a threat, what about rogue black holes? Rogue black holes, the silent cosmic assassins, these are the real danger. Unlike black holes that sit quietly at the centers of galaxies, rogue black holes drift freely through space, completely invisible unless they interact with nearby stars or gas clouds. Scientists estimate that there could be millions of them roaming through our Milky Way, completely undetectable, unless they distort the light of stars behind them through a phenomenon called gravitational lensing. So, what would happen if one of these rogue black holes entered our solar system? The scary part is, it wouldn't even have to touch Earth to cause destruction. If a black hole passed close enough, let's say within a few 100 million miles, it could disrupt the orbits of planets. Its gravity could pull Earth slightly out of its current orbit, causing climate chaos. A shift of just a few % in our distance from the Sun could make Earth either unbearably hot or an icy wasteland, if it came even closer. The effects would be catastrophic. The moon's orbit would become unstable, tides would go wild, and the Earth's crust could experience violent shifts, leading to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions on a global scale. If we were unlucky enough to be directly in its path, our planet would be stretched, shattered, and eventually swallowed into oblivion. Thankfully, the chances of this happening are extremely low, astronomically low. The universe is vast, and while rogue black holes exist, space is so incredibly large that the likelihood of one coming close enough to endanger Earth is almost zero in our lifetime. But what if humans accidentally created a black hole? Could science be our own undoing? This brings us to one of the most controversial fears of modern physics. Could the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, create a black hole capable of destroying Earth? We'll explore this theory and separate fact from fiction in the next section. Could science accidentally destroy Earth? The truth about man-made black holes. Throughout history, humanity has pushed the boundaries of science and technology, often venturing into the unknown with a mix of curiosity and caution. But what if our pursuit of knowledge led to a disaster, unlike anything we've ever imagined? What if we accidentally created a black hole, one that could consume the entire planet? This fear became widespread in 2008, when the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, the world's most powerful particle accelerator, was switched on for the first time. Scientists at CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, were attempting to recreate conditions similar to the Big Bang by smashing subatomic particles together at nearly the speed of light, but almost immediately, conspiracy theories spread like wildfire. Some people believed that these high-energy collisions could form tiny black holes, ones that might start out small but gradually grow, consuming Earth from the inside out. It sounded like something straight out of a horror movie. So, could this really happen? Mini black holes. Science fiction or scientific possibility? The idea that the LHC could create a black hole isn't entirely wrong, but the fear surrounding it is completely misplaced. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, black holes form when an enormous amount of mass is concentrated in a tiny space. The LHC, while powerful, works on an atomic scale, nowhere near the level needed to create a planet-eating monster. However, quantum physics suggests that under the right conditions, tiny black holes, far smaller than an atom, could appear for a fraction of a second before evaporating instantly. This theory is based on something called Hawking radiation, proposed by the legendary physicist Stephen Hawking. He suggested that black holes aren't entirely black, they slowly leak energy over time. The smaller the black hole, the faster it evaporates. If the LHC did create a black hole, which by the way it never has, it would vanish in a trillionth of a second, never growing, never posing a threat. In fact, nature itself is already conducting these experiments all the time. Cosmic rays, high-energy particles from space, regularly collide with Earth's atmosphere with far more energy than anything we can produce in a lab. If particle collisions could create black holes capable of destroying planets, Earth, and the entire universe would have been swallowed up long ago. So we can breathe easy. The LHC isn't going to end the world. But this raises an even more interesting question. What if a black hole is already closer than we think? Primordial black holes, the hidden threat. Some scientists speculate that tiny black holes, formed in the early moments of the universe, could still be lurking undetected in space. These are called primordial black holes, and unlike the massive ones formed by collapsing stars, these could be as small as a marble, or even smaller. While most primordial black holes would have evaporated billions of years ago, some theories suggest that a few could still exist. And if one happened to drift into our solar system, it might not destroy Earth outright, but it could cause massive disruptions. A small black hole passing through the planet could create gravitational waves, shaking the Earth's crust like an earthquake, or disturbing satellite orbits. In 2020, scientists proposed an idea that raised eyebrows. What if the mysterious planet 9, a hypothetical planet in the outer solar system, is actually a primordial black hole? If true, it would be about the size of a bowling ball, but as massive as 5 Earths. Of course, this is purely speculation, and there's no direct evidence of such a black hole existing in our solar system. But if one were out there, could we detect it in time? Would we see a black hole before it's too late? One of the most terrifying things about black holes is their invisibility. Because they don't emit light, we can only detect them based on how they affect objects around them. This means that if a rogue black hole were headed toward Earth, we wouldn't see it coming. At least not at first. However, there are a few ways we could spot one. Gravitational lensing. If a black hole passed in front of distant stars, its gravity would bend the light, creating a distortion like a cosmic magnifying glass. X-ray emissions. When black holes consume gas or dust, they heat it to extreme temperatures, emitting X-rays that telescopes like NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory can detect. Disturbed orbits. If a rogue black hole entered the solar system, planets' orbits might shift slightly, giving astronomers clues about its presence. The good news? We've never seen any signs of a rogue black hole near Earth. The bad news? If one were truly drifting through space, it could be nearly impossible to detect until it was too late. But let's assume the worst-case scenario. A black hole is coming. Would we have any way to escape? Could humanity survive? We'll explore our final and most terrifying question in the next section. If Earth were doomed, could we outrun a black hole, or would we be forced to accept our fate? Could humanity survive a black hole? The last hope so. Let's imagine the unthinkable. A black hole is heading straight for Earth. Scientists detect its gravitational pull, subtly shifting the orbits of planets in our solar system. At first, it's just a curiosity, but as weeks pass, the effects grow stronger. Earth's tides become extreme, GPS satellites start malfunctioning. Then comes the ultimate confirmation. Anomalous X-ray bursts detected from deep space, signaling the feeding frenzy of a cosmic predator. If a black hole were on a collision course with Earth, would there be any way to escape? Or would we simply be doomed to watch as our world spirals toward oblivion? The first signs of doom the moment. A black hole enters our solar system. The clock starts ticking. Even before it reaches us, its immense gravity would wreak havoc. The orbits of planets would shift unpredictably. Jupiter might get nudged closer to the Sun. Mars could be ejected into deep space. And Earth, we'd be lucky if we only suffered extreme climate changes. As the black hole draws nearer, the effects become catastrophic. Earth's crust would begin to crack under gravitational stress, triggering planet-wide earthquakes. The oceans would swell into colossal tsunamis, drowning entire continents. The sky would darken as volcanic eruptions fill the air with ash, blocking out sunlight. Temperature fluctuations would become unbearable. Some regions would freeze instantly, while others would be scorched. At this point, survival would be nearly impossible for most life on Earth. But could humanity find a way to escape? Could we evacuate Earth? In theory, the best way to survive would be to leave the planet entirely. But let's be realistic. This isn't some sci-fi movie where humanity suddenly builds a fleet of interstellar ships overnight, our current space travel. Technology is nowhere near advanced enough to evacuate billions of people. Even if we had a few decades of warning, we wouldn't have the resources, fuel, or technology to relocate civilization to another star system. The nearest potentially habitable exoplanet is over 4 light-years away, a journey that would take thousands of years with today's technology. So unless we discover a way to travel faster than light or build massive space stations that could sustain life indefinitely, there's no escape for humanity. Could we fight a black hole? If running isn't an option, what about fighting back? Could we somehow destroy a black hole before it consumes us? Unfortunately, no. A black hole isn't like an asteroid that we can nuke into pieces. It's pure gravity, a tear in the fabric of space-time itself. There's no physical object to target, no weak spot to exploit. Anything we send toward it will only be swallowed. Even a direct hit from the most powerful nuclear bomb ever built would do absolutely nothing. The only theoretical option would be to manipulate gravity itself, something far beyond our current understanding of physics. If future civilizations ever master the ability to control gravitational fields, they might be able to divert a black hole's path or prevent one from forming. But in today's world, we're completely defenseless. The final moments falling into a black hole. If Earth were truly doomed, our only choice would be to document and observe our final moments as we plunge toward the black hole's event horizon, the point of no return. As the planet nears the event horizon, time itself would begin to distort. From an outside observer's perspective, Earth would appear to slow down, frozen in time as it approaches the boundary. But for those on the surface, reality would continue as normal, until the tidal forces became unbearable. The side of Earth facing the black hole would experience stronger gravity than the far side, stretching the planet like spaghetti, a phenomenon scientists call spaghettification. The atmosphere would be ripped away first. Then the crust would begin to crack and break apart, collapsing inward as the core itself is torn to pieces. And then, nothing. Once inside a black hole, we have no idea what happens next. Einstein's equations break down. Does matter get crushed into an infinitely small point? Does it pass into another universe? Or is it simply erased from existence? Could this actually happen? So, should you be afraid that a black hole will destroy Earth? Not really. While the idea is terrifying, the chances of a black hole wandering into our solar system are incredibly low. In fact, there are only two realistic threats from black holes. The supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy, our Milky Way's core, contains a monster black hole called Sagittarius A. But don't worry, it's over 25,000 light-years away, and it's not moving toward us. Primordial black holes. If small ancient black holes do exist, one could be nearby. But even if that were true, they're likely too small to cause significant damage. The bigger question, are we the real threat? While black holes are fascinating, they're not our biggest concern. The real danger to Earth might not come from space at all, but from ourselves. Nuclear war, climate change, artificial intelligence. These are the things that could wipe out civilization long before a cosmic disaster ever reaches us. So instead of fearing black holes, maybe we should focus on the threats we actually have control over, before it's too late. But what do you think? Do you believe a black hole could ever truly threaten Earth, or are we worrying about the wrong apocalypse? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.